No poder más con. This is a long phrase, but it's another use of poder. No poder más con. And it's used in a negative way. So you need to remember that. No poder más con. In this situation, when you want to use this phrase, you need to conjugate the verb poder. Okay, so just keep that in mind. This means to stand. Usually you can't stand someone, okay? Or when you say, I can't take this anymore, you can't take this anymore. So you gotta conjugate the verb poder. So pretty much when you cannot stand someone and when you cannot take a situation anymore. If you're talking about someone or if you're referring to someone that you cannot stand that person, then it's very similar to use the verb to stand or to not be able to stand someone. And when you're talking about situations, then it's very similar to saying I can't take something anymore, okay? Or you can take, we can take, and so on. Now let's look at some examples using this phrase. No puedo más con esta situación. No puedo más con esta situación. This means I can't take this situation anymore. Or similar to saying I can't take this anymore. You can obviously replace esta situación with esto. No puedo más con esto. And that's very similar to saying, I can't take this anymore. Okay? So similar to saying this. But some people might say situation in Spanish. No puedo más con esta situación. I can't take this situation anymore. Both things are commonly said in Spanish. Of course, if you want to keep it short, you can just say esto. And that's a general vague way to say this. Okay, so it's pretty much just this. Esto, this. No puedo más, it's the whole thing, más con. Yo no puedo más con. You don't need to say yo. You can just say no puedo más con. Okay, and that means I can't take anymore. Right? Esta situación. Esta without the accent mark on top of the letter A means this. Feminine this. Okay? Esto is the same this, but masculine. There's also plural, estas, these, or estos, these, okay? So keep that in mind. Situación, we're saying esta because situación is feminine, okay? La situación. It looks like it's masculine, but it's not masculine. It's feminine. Situación, situation. No puedo más con esta situación. I can't take this situation anymore. Okay? So that's something very important to remember. It's very interesting. It's a good phrase to remember for sure. Remember once again that you gotta conjugate the verb poder right here because that's the verb conjugated. No puedo más con. I can't take this anymore. And you need to keep it together, all of this. In English, you have can't take anymore. You put things in the middle here. Well, this one is the pronoun, right? But right here, this gap here doesn't exist in Spanish. You add whatever you can't take anymore at the end, okay? No puedo más con esta situación. I can't take this situation anymore. Okay, just remember the order is very important. If you say no puedo más esta situación con, or no puedo esta situación más con. It doesn't make sense. So it has to stay together. No poder más con. Now let's look at the next example. No puedo más con mi marido. So now we're talking about someone, right? And this means I can't stand my husband. I mean, it happens. Some people, I don't know why I'm laughing about this, but some people, they can't stand people. In this case, a husband. It looks like it's a couple that is having issues. So let's break this down. No puedo, again, we have no puedo más con, and this means I can't stand. And because we're talking about a person, that's why it means can't stand. I can't stand. Mi means my. Marido means husband. Also, another way to call a husband in Spanish is esposo. Okay, marido, esposo, same thing. It means husband. Excellent. Now, let's change this a bit. And let's just, because I have twice no puedo más con. So let's change this to, for example, someone else, right? It's not my husband, it's someone else's husband. You can say, ella, right? You can say that. Ella no puede más con su marido. Ella no puede más con su marido. And in this situation, we need the personal pronoun ella because if you say no puede más con su marido, it also means, you can understand the context. But if you are introducing the topic, if you are talking about this for the first time, then you need the personal pronoun because the other person you're saying this to might say who can't stand their husband. You need more information, right? So if you want to be specific, using personal pronouns is just great for that. Keep that in mind. Now, this means I can actually just change this. She can't stand her husband. Okay? Ella means she. And then we have the whole phrase. This changed because we need to conjugate it for her, right? She can't stand. Ella no puede más con. Su means her, also his, and also su means, his, her, and also their, and your but formal, okay? Your formal, as in, your, this word, your. Okay? But in this situation, it means her because we're talking about she. Su marido, her husband. Okay? So that can change. This can change. You only have to either add the personal pronoun and also don't forget to conjugate the verb poder. Poder. Excellent. Any questions? Any questions? Remember, no poder más con means to not stand someone. You can't stand someone, or you can't take something anymore. Interesting. That's a very long phrase. no poder más con.